What's up, everybody? Glad to be bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified unboxing and review. And today, the good doctor will see you now. And who do I mean by that? Of course, I mean Dr. Mindbender. Let's talk about it. So yeah, got him in last weekend. Sorry the review's running so late, but life, things take priorities, right? So got Dr. Mindbender in last weekend. Haven't even had a chance to look at him yet till this review video, and I've been waiting for the good doctor, like many of us have, from Hasbro Pulse to come in. Came in, super excited to talk about it. Dr. Mindbender and subsequently Serpentor will round out the Cobra High Command for Classified. So at that point, we'll really have the entire High Command. We'll have Cobra Commander, Destro, Baroness, the twins, Mindbender, Serpentor, Firefly, if you want to include him. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody else. Really, I think the only person we don't have yet is that's pseudo in the High Command is Scrap Iron. I think that's really the only person. Zartan, if you want to count him as part of Cobra High Command, which I don't personally. He's a Dreadnought, so I don't count him myself. But anyway, we've got this really cool Dr. Mindbender figure. I am excited to share with you what it's all about, so let's just dive right into that. Okay, so here we go. Dr. Mindbender comes in this deluxe box because it's a deluxe figure, of course. Not the plastic-free packaging. We're going to soon find out, but just awesome. I love whoever does this artwork. They did the same artwork for the Serpentor that I'm going to have another video out for very shortly. I really like it. It's just a slip cover, so it comes right off. If you haven't already if you get this figure or you're getting it in the mail, be careful because it comes shipped in a box that's not much bigger than this one. And when I pulled the box out, this stayed behind. I was like, oh, that's strange. He doesn't come with a slip cover, but he really does. So you just have to make sure it doesn't get stuck in the box. But anyway, just a nice simple slip cover. There's the back side of it. You'll see it matches off with the box in its entirety. So before we get into it, we do have the nice Cobra DNA helix. Of course, anybody that knows Dr. Mindbender, he's responsible for the creation of Serpentor. But if we put the slip cover back on, before we get too far, we do have, he is number 43 in the series. And if we flip it around to the back, you get to see the entire picture. There we go. And of course, we've got the various pictures of him going through, collecting the DNA of the many rulers, conquestors, that became Serpentor. Of course, we have Baroness and Destro conspiring with him to create Serpentor. And then we have the vision he has of the double helix DNA strand that's famous from the cartoon. So let's go ahead and open the package so we can look at that. So we take off this slip cover, and it's just a double hinged window. And I tell you, this is very beautifully presented. So starting with the middle, we obviously have the figure. We have all sorts of accessories, brains, some sort of probes, a skull, a hand. Over here is the classic Mindbender weapons that we'll get to shortly. And then over here looks like a pistol and then some containment units for probably the brain and skull. But yeah, I like the way that looks. It looks really cool. If it's something you'd want to keep for your collection, you could actually, take Mindbender out, maybe slap a bat on the table so it looks like he's working on it, or maybe even Serpentor, although I gotta imagine Serpentor is much bigger than him. So yeah, let's get him out and let's see what we're dealing with here, because this looks pretty fun. I'm excited. Okay, we have Dr. Mindbender out, bare-chested, ready to wreak havoc on G.I. Joe, and more likely to wreak havoc on Cobra itself with his crazy ideas. So, orthodontist turned bad. That's the story of Dr. Mindbender. And of course, what villain isn't complete immediately without looking at the monocle? Now, I don't know if the monocle comes out. I don't believe it does, and I'm not going to try it because I will probably lose it. But man, that is an evil-looking guy right there. That is a guy that's up to no good. Never trust a man that's got a mustache like that and no shirt. That guy is just not going to be up to any good. The gauntlets are beautiful, just like the original vintage figure. Of course, he's got his cape. No Cobra logo on the back. That's unfortunate. From what I'm able to tell so far, that is a new chest, because I don't think we have anybody with just a bare chest yet. So that's a new chest, new forearms. Not sure on these, if these are used by somebody else or not. If you know, drop a comment, tell me what it is. You know, full articulation otherwise. I was looking at the legs, and I believe I don't recognize these legs, because the lack of pockets is actually what kind of makes me wonder if this is new legs. So again, if you know, let me know if that's been used before. And then I believe the boots are new, from the knee down, or from the boot down. I mean, you can see there is a space in there, but lower leg down, I believe, is all new as well. And of course, I will say this, mine, like many people have been noticing, does have that black smudging from the cape. And I believe it's on both arms. I didn't check. Yeah, both arms. So as long as you leave the cape on, not a huge deal, right? I mean, nobody's going to notice but you. But it is kind of unfortunate that they seemingly put that on or pressed into the plastic while it was still warm. I don't know. But along with Dr. Mindbender comes a lot of accessories. And to be honest, I don't know what some excuse me, I don't know what some of them are. So we'll start with his weaponry, so to speak. This is the tank that plugs into his... Actually, I don't think it plugs in anything. I think it's a generator is what it's supposed to be. So it's got multiple plugs on it. So we're going to show you that real nice. And then he comes with a couple of different weapons that attach to this hose. So, you know, nothing too fancy. This is just a hose. But the first gun weapon we get is based on his classic one. I remember this one. And of course, you can just plug it right in. And then you can plug it right into this guy. Don't think it matters where exactly it plugs in, but as you can see, then you have this, the little generator and the attachment. But we also have this gun, which I don't recall off the top of my head. That's like some sort of weird pulse weapon. And it also attaches. Now, again, maybe I'm not remembering my vintage Mindbender very well, but, you know, I don't remember this gun. It's still cool, though. It's still a neat, mad science-y sort of gun. I mean, straight out of a 1950s serial comic. So we got that. And then, of course, we have a couple of smaller pistols. We've got this guy. Little silver painted onto it as well to break up all the black. And then we actually have what I'm going to call an actual pistol. I mean, and it actually does have the opening on it, so if you have those fire accessories that maybe came with the Viper 3-pack, you could plug those in there. So that's as far as weaponry he gets. And then he has a slew of accessories, and we're going to start with these first. He gets a couple of vials that open up. So these are for display purposes. So that looks pretty cool. You can see Mindbender through it. So we get a larger red one and a smaller red one. It opens up as well. I mean, nothing fancy. And then we get, to go in the larger vial, we get a weird green hand with wires in it. Now, if you remember the zombie, were they called zombie vipers in the 25th, 50th anniversary line? This is exactly what that reminds me of. Now it has bone. It's supposed to look like bone, so it won't actually plug into anything. That's too wide. But you can plug it into this. Now, I think it would have been cool. Now, of course, there you go. There you go, rather. And then you can put this right inside of it, and boom. You have got yourself a really cool accessory. Like I was saying, it'd be cool if that plug actually fit a actual hand, if you wanted to pull the hand out of Mindbender and put that on, or some other figure. And then we get, of course, this skull. You know, because what doctor doesn't have a creepy skull in their lab? It's got a hole in the top. It opens up. Oops, I just dropped it. It opens up. I wish there had been some detail on the inside rather than just this kind of boring stuff. Same on the bottom. I wish that was open a little bit more, and I wish you had a plug. You could like almost put it on as a head or something. but it's still really cool. So here's the head. Get it focused. A lot of detail otherwise. And of course, you want to see it from the top. And the reason it's got this split in it is because, of course, if you need a brain, you've got a brain. It's on a peg, and you can actually put that inside. Allow me to show you. This is a very tight fit. And there you go. Did I put that in the right way, or did I put that in backwards? I don't know. I'm not an expert. And then, of course, you can close it, and then you can see it inside. And that's super, super cool. So, not to be outdone, you can take it then and put it inside. Oh, nope, I'm wrong. You can't put it in there. But you can, if I take the skull cap off. Ooh, okay. You can put the brain in there, so that's cool. I thought you could put the whole skull in it, but I guess that makes sense that you couldn't. And then, of course, you've got yourself a nice little brain on display. And I don't know what these little holes are. They're too small for really any other use, but that's pretty cool, right? So, set those closer so you can sort of see them in the shot. Here. So there's that. And then, of course, are these other objects that I am not quite sure what they are, and I really think that Hasbro just put them in to make us as collectors go insane. And there are 4 of these, and there are these little tiny, like, electrode... Oh, I know where they go. I know where they go. They go in here. That is where they go. I thought at first they went into the brain directly, like little electrodes that you pin into the brain, but they don't. They go into this. So there, like I said, there are 4 of them, and they are so small. I do not like small things like this, Hasbro. It is very easy to lose them. But, you know, you could have just, in my opinion, I would have just molded these in, because I don't really understand what it's for otherwise. So, anybody want to take a guess? Drop a comment. Tell me what these things are for. Like, is this supposed to put electrodes into the brain to make it work, or what? Is it supposed to fly around like a little alien? I don't know. But there we go. So, we have that. Of course, we have the skull. And then we have his various accessories. And the one thing I didn't check, does he have a back hole peg? And oh, it's way up high. There we go. He does have a back hole peg that this will not fit in. I'll double check it, but it's way too small. No, that's not going to fit in there. It's going to fall right out. So, I guess if he's going to use his generator, it's going to have to set somewhere. Unless I'm mistaken. Now, we do have a sidearm holster, so we can put his pistol in it, and that's good, and we will do that. Now, I've mentioned it before. I like my G.I. Joe figures to be able to hold all their accessories. In this case, Mindbender is certainly not going to be able to hold all of his accessories. But yeah, so we get this, and then we have his various weapons, which I am trying to lay out, and I will adjust the camera so we can see those again. So, this is Dr. Mindbender. I don't remember how much this cost, but it's long since been sold out on Hasbro Pulse. It is not a retail figure, so as of right now, if you wanted him and you didn't jump on it, you're going to have to go to the secondary market to get one. And I'm going to guess on the secondary market, he's probably going to range around $60, $70, $80. But if you're fortunate enough to get one now, great. I am sure they will re-release this figure again, probably without all this stuff. I could see him becoming the Walmart classified retro exclusive line. I can see them bringing him out again and just not including anything except for maybe the gun accessories. Of course, leaving out the skeleton head, the brain, the arm, leaving that stuff out and just giving you the base figure. Because I know it's a great looking figure. Hopefully they do something with this black paint that kind of seeped off. But it's a great figure. But what do you guys think? Is it worth picking up? Did you pick it up? Do you like it? Did you miss it? Did you buy it on the secondary market? Is it worth that secondary market price? Those are the questions I'd like to ask. So if you made it this far through the video, I'd appreciate a good old thumbs up. Ring the notification bell because I've got more videos coming. Try to get a couple out a week if possible. And yeah, leave me a comment down below and we'll talk soon. Serpentor's coming. Take it easy.